this auto configuration automatically triggers because you have your Eureka dependency in your class path. And what this auto configuration does, /Eureka/apps. Okay, and now look at that. This is your registry information. Whenever you're gonna make a delta call from the employee service to discovery service will only get you those data. What is basically the difference between this last time whenever you made a fetch? Now nothing is there. Now see the first heartbeat. It came at 8:54. Next one, please. After 10 seconds, don't disappoint me. Yeah, the Eureka discovery service will wait. Once at least one heartbeat it will accept from the microservice, then only it is going to register that inside the registry. This is the concept of, let's say there is a Eureka server and there are many Eureka clients. How this Eureka clients communicates with this Eureka server, and all happens using the RESTful endpoints. All right, so in today's lesson we're going to be going deeper with Eureka discovery service. We'll be learning more internals about the Eureka, like how does it communicates and how can we discover our services using the Eureka discovery, and how can we make client calls from one client to another. So we're going to be communicating with our microservices today using the Eureka service, and we will not be hard coding our URL in our application. So this is going to be an exciting journey. But before that, we just need to talk about a little more about the Eureka internals, so that I will be making sure that we all are in the same page. So before we get started, I just have a few questions to you guys, like how to set up a Eureka server. Anybody remember from the last session? How can we set up a Eureka server? What thing we have to do? How to start?
We need to add a starter for that.
We need to add a starter for that, correct? And what starter is that?
It's a Eureka server and Eureka client.
Okay, 1 second. Can I open the Eureka discovery service and the pom.xml file? And this is the starter that we have added for our server. So this is the dependencies, Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka server, in order to have the Eureka server in with our application. Can I know how can I trigger the Eureka server in my application, Manish, if you remember it? Like how can I trigger the auto configuration of Eureka? Like there is an annotation.
Enable Eureka server.
Exactly. And this is enable Eureka server. This guy will help you to start your Eureka server. If you are not going to have it, then the Eureka server will not be auto configured. So this annotations make sure that the auto configuration that you have for Eureka triggers. So basically, guys, to make it very simple, what this annotation does is basically helps you create a bean called marker. Okay, it basically, there is a bean called marker, and this guy, whenever you put this annotation over here, it basically create a bean and put it in your application context. The bean name is marker. Okay, and the next time whenever this application starts off, there is a Eureka Eureka server auto configuration. This auto configuration automatically triggers because you have your Eureka dependency in your class path. And what this auto configuration does is basically set off the Eureka server for you. How? Because based on a bean, you can see there is a conditional on bean, and it is looking for a bean called marker. Okay, and where this marker presents is presents inside the Eureka server marker auto configuration. If you go inside that, you can see this class is basically help you to create a bean for a class called marker, and this marker class is here. Okay, there is a marker class. This particular class basically creates a bean for marker class, and whenever this bean presents inside your application class path, basically the auto configuration triggers. So if I'll come with the flow one more time, Maybe I will close everything. I'll close the POM file as well. So it all starts from here. It all starts from here. Whenever you have the annotation called enable Eureka server, if you're gonna go inside this annotation, you're gonna be seeing that it is importing a configuration right here, and this is basically Eureka server marker configuration. So what it does is basically helps you to create a bean. What bean is that? The bean called marker. What is a marker? This is just a simple class. There is no code inside it. This is just there to work as a marker. By writing this particular annotation here, you are basically creating a marker bean. Okay, and once that marker bean is available, once you start your application and if you have this annotation, the marker bean is available, and whenever right now the Eureka server auto configuration triggers, it's going to check, okay, whether there is a bean present inside the class path called marker. You can see marker is a class which is there inside this particular class, right? It is a class inside a class. So if we have this class present inside our this class, and this is a bean, if there is a bean present of marker, then obviously the auto configuration triggers, and that's how this guy basically does the magic. I think you guys understand this. Okay, good answer, Manish. Now the next question for you guys, that how do you turn off the fetch registry from the server side? And I just want to ask you two questions. Why do you, okay, first tell me two things. How do you turn off the fetch registry? What is the fetch registry? And why do you want to turn it off in your server side? Any answer to this? Why do we want to turn off the fetch registry from the server side?
I remember something, maybe because sorry, we don't want the server to register itself. We only want the client to register at the registry side.
Yes, and that is basically registered with Eureka. We don't want our service, because this service says end of the day this is also a microservice, and we said register with Eureka equal to false. If you don't set it to false, if it is true, then this application is also going to be registered with your Eureka discovery service. And that's what I don't want, because right now this is the only central Eureka server that I have, and I know the port number and URL of this, and that's why I do not want this to be registered with my Eureka, and I do not want my Eureka to track the IP and the addresses of this particular microservice when I start this instance inside a server. Right now this is the answer for this guy, register with Eureka. What do you mean by fetch registry, and why did I set it to false here? If you talk about the discovery service, any answer?
Avila, so it basically tries to get the data from the default port of the Eureka server, that is 8761.
Exactly.
And it will not get that data.
Exactly.
So it will keep on trying after every 30 seconds. And again it will not get that data. So to make so here we know that we don't have 8761 registered.
Exactly.
We don't have that server available. So we made this as a false.
So basically, which server is that, Harsh? You are absolutely correct. Pinpoint answer. I just want to know, like, if I start this application and if this fetch registry is set to true, then what this application is going to connect to what?
To the port number 8761.
Okay, by default it is 8761. There is a service, or there is something running on that particular server. Let's say you said 8761. Maybe if I'll make this to true, this application is by default is going to look for another microservice. But is that a microservice, or is that another discovery server? That's what I want to ask.
It is another discovery service.
Exactly, because every time the discovery service will think that there is another discovery service present inside the local host, and it is available in some port. So if you're gonna make it true, then obviously it's going to, whenever we start this application, it will try to fetch the registry from that particular server. What do you mean by a registry, Harsh?
So basically, this is a point where our other microservices register themselves.
Exactly.
So whenever they will gets up or down, it will automatically send the heartbeat. Accordingly, it will register and deregister the
Exactly,
microservice.
exactly. Basically, I'll tell you guys, I'll show you the registry. I'll show you the registry. Okay, registry means what? Any other answer? Horse, you are correct. Any other answer? What do you mean by registry? If anyone else wants to, answer this question. Yes, please.
Actually, registry is nothing like you can say that if there are 30 students coming to school every day, right? So the class teacher actually maintains the register, who is present and who is not present.
Correct.
And it is simple. It's just analogous to that.
What a beautiful answer, Manish. Thank you very much. Maybe nice answer. If the student is present, then it will be maintained inside the registry. If the student is not present, then this will be absent. Nobody will call that particular student. So right now, do we have anything inside the registry? Right now, I just started the discovery server. You can see there is no instances registered with this application. So there is nothing inside our Eureka server. But right now, whenever we start any of the microservices, for an example, if I start this microservices in a port, let's say 8082, then right now this will be registered with our application, and once we start this application, it will be registered with our Eureka service, right? Because this, you can think like this is a server, this is a Eureka server, this is a microservice. We made it a client. Which client is that? How did we make it a client? We did make it a client by putting this thing right here called Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka client. And what this guy does, this basically help us to register our application or our microservices with our discovery service right here. And right now, wherever we started this like an address service, it is running on port number 8082 and it is on localhost. Every information of this will be registered with my Eureka. If I do refresh this, you can see address services right now registered with this thing, and this is how it is maintaining a registry. Instances currently registered with Eureka. But basically, you know what, guys, how does basically for an example, I told you one thing, okay, before I talk about the registry, I'll tell you how it fits it. Guys, can you tell me, like, whenever I started this address microservice right here, you can see address microservices started on 8082. When I started this, do you think this is going to also fetch the registry from the Eureka discovery service? Complementing Horse answer. I just want to know yes or no. Do you think whenever I start this application, automatically it is going to fetch the registry from the Eureka discovery service? This application will tell to discovery service that, okay, I'm starting off, let me know what are the instances you already got, so that anytime the address service needs to make a call to any of the microservices like employee service, it can use that registry and can find and discover the URL and the port number of employee service to make a call. Is that correct, or is that is not correct? Right now, I'm not talking about the server. I'm talking about this address service, which is the instance, which is a Eureka instance, or which is our microservice. Do you think whenever it starts off, it fetches the registry from the discovery service? Yes or no?
Yes, it will register, sir.
Okay. Why do you think so? Why do you think the address service, whenever it is going to start off, it is going to fetch the registry information from the discovery service? And how can you prove it? Anyone? Yes?
We can just shut down this discovery service and see if still address service or employee service are able to contact with you.
Come again? Okay, that's a different. Okay, that's a particular. This is a brilliant answer, Prashant. So what Prashant is saying? Okay, Vilash, you told me that okay, discovery service is our service registry. Whenever this microservice will start off, address service will start off, it will fetch the registry information from the discovery service, and it will cache it inside the address service, because this is the client. And whenever it is going to make a call to employee service, it does not need to fetch the registry information again from the discovery service. It has it already. So if you're going to turn this off, still we can make a call from here to here without using discovery service. Maybe I'm agreeing to this answer, and I'll be proving that as well. But can we make it, can you just make a little simple for me, Prashant? How can you show me, or how can you prove me whenever I'm starting this address service, it is fetching the registry information from the discovery service, and how it is communicating from the address service to discovery service? Any answer to this?
You can check in logs like when
Okay.
you start.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
If
Okay.
you're trying to do something, it will come.
Good answer, Manish. Right now you can see this is my address service console. Okay, now it is discovery service, and this is my address service console. And whenever my address service is starting off, are you seeing? It is registering the service with the Eureka, but before it registering, it should getting all the instant registry from the Eureka server, and the response is 200. So before it starts, is try to fetch all the registry information from the Eureka service, and the Eureka service has given a 200 response. So maybe it had made a call. This application right now makes a call to this application through REST template, and right now discovery service has given all the responses, like all the registry information, and it's just given you a 200 response. And after that is basically register itself, address service register itself with Eureka. How basically this application, couple of application communicates, how basically the address service gets the information from the discovery service is basically hitting some REST endpoints, right? And what is that endpoint? Eureka. And what is the port number where Eureka is running right now? 5000. Okay, /Eureka/apps. Okay, and now look at that. This is your registry information. Now look at that a little carefully. Let me restart my camera. So what information you are finding? What you are thinking? What it is? Anyone?
Information of all the services.
Okay. Anyone else?
There has been registered.
Okay. Go ahead.
Eureka server.
Correct, Prashant. Any other answer? What do you think? What it is?
Like host name information, app name, IP address, status.
Exactly. So basically, this is my application. There is how many instances of this application running called address service? You can see there is one application is up, and that application name is address service, and this is the instance details. Like this is our instance ID. This is where it exists right now inside this server. This is our application. The status is up, and the blah 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 information like lease info. Lease info means what? You can see there is something called lease info. That means this address service application is basically going to send an heartbeat to my registry discovery service in each 30 seconds. So basically, you know what? One thing I want to tell you, that if right now this Eureka service got an address service here, but basically how this discovery service knows that there is some application is getting registered and when to add it, when to remove it. Basically this is how your things are. You have your server, you have your Eureka client, and this is, let's say this is service A, this is service B, this is one Eureka client or one Eureka instance, and there are a couple of instances over here. You can think one is as your employee service, one is your address service, and both are registered with Eureka whenever they start up. And in every 30 seconds, they do send heartbeats, okay, signals to the Eureka server that, hey, don't remove me, I'm alive, I'm not dead. And this is how Eureka server tracks, because in each 30 seconds, it is going to receive an heartbeat from the client instance or from the client application. And that's how we can see in every 30 seconds, because see, Netflix people has found that 30-second interval is a good interval. Can you change it? Do you want like Eureka client to send a heartbeat to the Eureka server in every 90 seconds or every 120 seconds? Is it possible? Absolutely. But by default, all the clients that we have, whenever they will be registered, in each 30 seconds, they will be sending heartbeats to the server so that the server can track that these instances are available. And if the server tracks that, let's say there is another service here, maybe I can show you this one. And okay, one second. If the server sends that, or if the server finds that if the heartbeat is not coming on a regular interval, and if there is an instance called Eureka client and it is B, service B, if the service B is not sending heartbeat for the next 90 seconds, then this service will be removed from the Eureka server and from the Eureka registry. If for 90 seconds Eureka server will not receive the heartbeats from the client, then it will deregister the service from the registry of the Eureka. Okay, so this is how the thing goes. Eureka client sends a heartbeat in every 30 seconds to the Eureka server. Eureka server removes the instance if it did not receive any heartbeat for the 90-second interval. And there is couple of ways you can set your heartbeats. The first way is lease renewal interval in second. And if you're gonna set this property to 90 second or 120 second, in that interval only the heartbeat will come to the Eureka server from the client. By default, it is set to 90 second. And by default, the Eureka server will remove a instance after 90 second if it does not send heartbeats. Now, that is the default one. You can also change it by using this property called lease expiration duration in seconds. And you can set this expiry over here, and basically you can, by default it is 90, otherwise you can set it to 120 or 130 second, right? So this is what it says. If you're gonna go to this app, you can see this is my Eureka server registry right now, and there is one application is up. This application name is address service, and for the address service, this is the lease information. That means this is your heartbeat information. And the renewal interval in second is 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds this address service will send a heartbeat to my Eureka server, and that's how my Eureka server will track it. And duration in second, forget about this, I'll come back to this. Maybe this is something that I want to talk about right now. And you can see right now, if you're gonna check my address service, if you go to my discovery service right now, you can see in every 30 seconds you are getting a heartbeat. This is a heartbeat. One second. Yeah, this is a heartbeat. Register instances. Yeah, this is a heartbeat. You can see 8082. It is coming from this address service, and the status is up. So this particular line confirms that right now basically your discovery service gets an heartbeat from this service called address service, and I'll show you how. In a few minutes. And also, if you want to change this, you can go to address service. You can open the properties of address service like this and go there, open with generic editor, and you can just type lease here, lease, and you can get your renewal information. Can I see that? And see, lease renewal interval in second by default indicates how often the Eureka client needs to send heartbeats to the Eureka server to indicate that it is still alive, right? And right now you can see the default is 30 seconds. So if you're going to change it to 90 seconds, now this address service is going to send an heartbeat to the discovery service in every 90 seconds. But by default it is 30 seconds, and that's the value that Netflix Eureka people found, that's the suitable value. So right now I can see one thing. You can see right now I have my Eureka. If you're gonna refresh it, you can see it is over here. It is registered inside Eureka. But the moment you're gonna kill this instance, discovery service, can I go over there? The moment I'm gonna be killing this address service, now it shuts down. If it shuts down, means it is going to deregister. Okay, and if it is going to deregister, you're going to be seeing that there is no instance available. But this is not the registry. This is the registry /Eureka/apps. Do enter. Now you can see that the app has been gone from here. All right. So now inside the registry, we do not have the data. We do not have the registry information. And you can see one more thing. When the address service we shut down, if you're going to go to the discovery service log, you'll be seeing that cancelled instance. And again, you can see whenever the address service shut down, this is my address service, which is right now terminated. When I stopped this, it is unregistering itself, and it is making a call to the discovery client to make a deregistration. Okay, and the status is 200. That means the delete, that means it is removing the address service from the discovery service, and for that it is hitting my discovery service using this some URL, and this is basically a delete request by nature. And if you're gonna go to the discovery service console right now by switching it over, you can see right here cancelled, and you can see this instances is right now removed. Right, so far it is making sense, guys, whatever I explained. Little theoretical.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but one thing you make sure, basically how these services communicates with each other. Let me tell you a little bit. Eureka REST API. Can I search like this? Can I go to the Netflix GitHub page, and you can see these are all the endpoints that basically my microservices hits, and it basically goes to Eureka, and basically this is how Eureka basically communicates. You can see just now I told you about the delete one, right? Can I see? One second, I'll show you this. See, deregister an application. Whenever you want to deregister an application, one application need to hit this endpoint, Eureka/v2. Forget about v2 right now. Eureka/apps/app ID and the instance ID. This is going to hit by one service to another, and that is basically going to delete the application. For an example, I'll show you. Don't worry. Okay, one second. Right now, if I'm gonna say localhost 5000 /apps/Eureka is my base endpoint apps. Okay, now I don't have anything over here, right? I'll tell you one thing. Now let me start one instance. Let me start one one address service. I'll tell you a few information, then I'll show you something in real time. It is going to be fun. So my address service right now started. Can you see it over here? Now you can see the registry still does not have the address, but if you're gonna go over here, do a refresh, you can see the address service is registered. But if you're gonna hit this registry link, now it is up. So what is the logic behind it? So guys, remember this thing, never get confused. Whenever you start this address service, right, it is going to be immediately, once it is started, it is going to be immediately show inside the web UI, right here, inside the Eureka UI. But this is the registry information, right? Whenever you hit this endpoint, this is not going to instantly pop up that how many instances are running of address service. Right now, it is saying up 1, and this is the information, and the status is up. See, why it did not immediately pop out over here? Because the Eureka registry will only show the details. Right now, you can see this is my address service, and this is my discovery service. Now you can see the discovery service got, once the address service is registered with the Eureka service, here it was cancelled. Right now, once it is registered, it is basically given a heartbeat. Okay, this is a heartbeat. Status is equal to up, and basically a heartbeat, there is a, like the registration happens, and once it basically accept the first heartbeat, once the discovery service gets the first heartbeat from the address service, then only it will be put that instance inside the registry. Okay, so you got to wait for some time. Whenever you start the service doesn't mean that it will be going to the Eureka registry instantly. The Eureka discovery service will wait. Once at least one heartbeat it will accept from the microservice, then only it is going to register that inside the registry. And just like that, for an example, if you're going to stop this, right, address service, stop it. I stopped it. Now if you're going to go over here to enter, see, still we have it. See, still we have it, but we stopped it. But if you refresh here, you will not be finding it here. So here it will be removed directly, but this is actually the registry. And now it will wait like for the missing heartbeats. And once the heartbeat is gone, it is going to remove that from the registry itself. So this is the endpoint using what we are getting the registry whenever any microservices starts off. So right now, whenever this microservices starts off, you can see right now, whenever this microservices starts off, it is going to fetch the registry from this microservice. And how it will be fetching it? It will be fetching it by hitting this endpoint called /Eureka apps. Okay, now I have a question for you. Imagine I got 3 instances of address service. Let me start this. Now all these instances will be registered with my discovery service, isn't it? Okay, let's see that. Okay, now it's all started. Now if we go over here, do refresh, it didn't come up. Now it came up. There are 3 instances of address service, instance 1, instance 2, and instance 3. And these are the details in XML. How do you want to get the details in JSON? You need to hit this with your Postman right here. You can open a new tab, Control V, do a get. You're going to be getting it by default in XML. But if you want to get it in JSON, go to the headers. How can you get it in JSON? Any idea?
A content type actually.
Accept. By default, we are accepting it in anything, right?
Yeah.
So just have accept. And what is the value? Application address.
JSON.
Yes, to a send. Now you're getting the same thing in JSON. So if you want to get it in JSON, this is the way you can get the data. Now my question is, what I wanted to say, this is one important thing. Okay guys, now this answer Horst has given me. Now guys, tell me, when I started this application, right? When I started all this application, let's say right now address service is started. Okay, and there are a couple of instances of address service. Now imagine I want to start my employee service. I'm starting my employee service. So first, what employee service is going to do? If I'm going to start the employee service, okay, what happened there? Can I run it like this? Run as Java application. If I'll start my employee service, not found, plus not loading. I have an update.
Spring Boot app.
Spring Boot app. Didn't I run it as Spring Boot app?
Spring Boot app. Yes.
Didn't I did run it as Spring Boot app, right? Now, okay. 1 second. Maven update project. Force update. Do an update. Run as Spring Boot app. Still same problem. No, it's starting, right? Now employee service is starting. Now guys, when employee service starts, it's registered itself. You can see registered instance of employee service inside the discovery service. Employee service is registered. Now if I'll go to the employee service, okay, now the employee service is going to do what? It is right now, whenever it started, before it registered the application, it should have fetched the data, right? From the discovery service. Can you see that can you see that log for me? Are you finding it? Where it made a call, initializing the server in US EST1, because by default that's the default zone, because they use the AWS standards there. Yeah, there you go. Right, getting all instances registry from the Eureka server. So whenever my employee service starts, it's basically started fetching all the instances from my Eureka server. Right now, what do you think? Right now, first time it basically fetched all the information. Right now my employee is a client. Right now I can just show you one thing. Can I open my annotator and can I go somewhere? Now my question is, guys, imagine this is your discovery service. Okay, now if the discovery service, there are 3 applications registered. Okay, these are all address service. Now this is my employee service. Okay, now my employee service is starting off. Whenever it starts off, it basically fetch all this data to here and is going to cache it over here. Cool. Now next time there is another service registered here. So how employee service will get it? Any idea? Any assumption?
The same URL it may.
Yes, exactly the same. So basically previously how did it get the data? Is to use /app.
Yeah.
What is that? /Eureka/app, huh?
Eureka is like 5000.
Yeah, 5000 is the port number. Port number, localhost, forget it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now Eureka/app, it did hit and just get all the data. So next time, if there are 2 more services are registered, what endpoint the employee service will hit to get the data? Again, it is going to hit employee Eureka/app. No.
No, maybe discovery service will update.
No, discovery service will not update. This guy Prashant will keep on fetching the data in each 30-second, I think 30-second interval. In every 30-second, it try to sync off with the discovery service, and it is going to ask for, like, let's say any new services if it is registered. And is it going to hit the same endpoint, Eureka/app? No, it is right now Eureka slash delta, I think app.delta or delta.app, I don't know, delta/app. I'll tell you what is the difference between this endpoint and this endpoint. Now delta/app means, guys, I don't want to get the entire registry again, I already have it. Just tell me the difference. Like last time I called you at, let's say, 6 p.m. 6:30 p.m. let's say. Now I'm again making a call, but last time you already gave me the entire cache, right? Don't get me the entire cache right now. Just get me the newly registered instances over here. Okay, so the Eureka delta, whenever you're gonna make a delta call from the employee service to discovery service will only get you those data which has been registered recently, or what is basically the difference between this last time whenever you made a fetch and right now. Let's say you are making a call at 6:35. Let's say I'm saying 6:35, but it will happen after 30 seconds. But let's say whenever you're gonna make a call at 6:35, it will be basically find the difference. Delta means difference. What is the difference, or what is the newly added services or modified things that you have, and what basically this employee service does not have. So now if you're gonna see here, guys, now if I'll turn this off and if I'll go to here, and right now I think app/delta, I think that is the endpoint. See, this is the delta, and whenever I'm going to hit delta, I'm not finding anything, right? Because there is nothing has been changed. But right now, whenever I am going to hit this, let's say this is my delta, right? Can I hit Eureka/apps? I'm getting everything, but delta means I'm not getting anything right now, right? Delta is not giving me anything. But right now, let me do one more thing. Employee service, how many application is running? One, huh? Let me start another one, or let me start another address service. Can I duplicate this? Duplicate config, and let me just do open config, and let me just start it in 8087 port, huh? And the arguments, let me just give 8087, and that's it. To apply, close, go over here to start the application. Now let's see what's going to happen. Okay, it started right now, and basically
can you do one more thing, sir? You can delete the existing one so that actually we can have a clear understanding.
Yes. But before I do that, see, when I hit this, what I'm getting. When I'm hitting the delta, what I'm getting. How many instances I'm getting right now? There are 5 services off, but the delta call has given me how many instances? 1. See, Manish, 1 instance only, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because this is the newly added thing. So delta will not give you the entire information. It will only give you the information that, like, which has been newly added, or the service which has been removed, or things. But if you're gonna go to the other endpoint, and if you're gonna make a hit to this endpoint /apps, it is gonna get you everything. See, it's gonna get you all the instances of address service and all the instances of employee service. Now 1 employee service and 4 address services running. Okay, so it's gonna get you all the information, but the delta will basically get you the difference. Okay, just remember that much. And you can use all these endpoints to make call. For an example, you want to get, let's say right now, one more thing. See, guys, now I told you that if you're gonna make a apps call, you're gonna get all the apps which are running right now and registered with my discovery service. This is basically my discovery service registry. Now let's say you want to get information about my address service specifically. You can just do apps/address service here, and you're gonna get only the information about the address service, not the employee service. Now the employee service is gone. Now if you want to get the information about only one instance, use this instance ID, and just do a slash and paste the instance ID, do a enter. Right now you are only getting the instance information of that instance ID only, like where the address is, what is the address, what is the status. Now the status is up. We can also, the status may be down also, right? Maybe what is this 8087 port number, right? Now can I go over here and 8087, this one, let me just turn this down. Now the status will be down, right? Okay, now if you're gonna come over here, do a enter. Okay, this is gone obviously because we turned that off. But can I go to /Eureka/apps and can I see 8087? Can you see the 8087 is there or not? 8081 unknown. One second. Employee service. I want to show you the status is down. Now can you see all the status? Up. Can I see the other instance? This is also up. Another instance, this is also up. Another instance, it is removed. This is address service, it is also up. Okay, but I did made it down, huh? That time it did not show me up instantly. So right now it is showing only 4 services. Okay, maybe whenever the status is down, or maybe you can see, we can also set the out of service. You can see, for an example, you can see, you can hit this kind of URL to set the status to out of service. For an example, I'll show you. This example will be good. Let's say I'm hitting /apps. It's gonna get me the entire registry. Now let's say for this instance, I want to set the status to out of order. Then how can I do it? I can use this endpoint. This is going to be the endpoint. Control C. Can I make it, can I paste it over here? First, let me just have my local host :5000. Okay, /Eureka. v2 I don't need it. It's like, you know, I want to use the first person. Apps /app ID. Let's say what app ID I want to use. I want to use the app ID. This is my app ID, address service. Control C. App name is the app ID. Paste it over here. Then the instance ID. Let's say I will set one of the instance, this instance, which is running in the port number 8082. This instance I want to set like instance ID, paste it. Now the status I want to set it as out of service, value equal to out of service. This is going to be the status. You can hit the same URL in the REST API. Now I didn't get anything. That's fine. Can I check it over there once? What is the status right now? It is still up. Okay, can I just take this URL and hit it right there in my Postman? Just want to see that whether I'm able to change the you know, if I'm able to change the instance ID status of this to like, you know, can I go to the params? This is like status equal to out of service. Let's see that if I'm able to change, sorry, /status is going to be here, huh? Now this is going to be value equal to, this is the value equal to out of service. Can I copy this? Control C, paste it. Look at my URL. Is it correct?
Method should be put, sir.
Okay. That's why I did not get the, you know, response here, right? Because when I hit anything in the browser, it will be a GET request. So now, am I hitting the right one? It is a put call. I'm hitting /Eureka /v2/apps. Apps is basically the endpoint. This is the endpoint. Eureka v2/apps. Then this is your service name. Then this is the instance ID. Then the status. And status is going to be the endpoint name. Then after that, parameter. Parameter starts here. And value equal to out of service. Okay, now parameters, after this we have status. No, let me just write status, then parameter starts here, then value equal to out of service. Okay, do ascend. Okay, I'm getting 200. Okay, that means the status has been set. Can I go to here, do a enter, and can I see the status is right now out of service, right? Like that, whenever the services will be down, it will be changed to down. Whenever it will come back it will come up, right? You can change the status right here only. Right now I can set the up, and maybe I can just use my capital letter here, do send, and it will be off. Can I hit the same endpoint again? Okay, no, I think it's not taking it. I think it is not taking it because of a reason. 1 second. Now it's come back. 8082 status is up, right? Status is up here. Making sense, guys? So basically, how do you trust me right now? Okay, maybe a lot of things we have discussed. Now, how do you trust me that all these endpoints are getting hit? Now, for an example, guys, whenever you're going to be deleting, whenever you're going to be stopping an application, let's say this address service 8082, you are stopping right now. Once you are stopping, what will happen? It is going to deregister itself from the discovery service. So internally, you can see if I will go back to the address service which we have terminated, it is basically doing a on registering. On registering means it is basically removing it from the discovery service. So if you're going to go to the discovery service, you can see right now it is cancelled. So that means there is a delete request which happened for this instance. This is the instance ID, and for this instance there is a delete request happens, and this is the request which came. That's why the discovery service has unregistered an application. Now if you're gonna hit it, you have 3 instead of 4. Now how can I make it manually? Obviously you can also do the same thing. You can go to the GitHub link, and can you find the delete one? Put get, and where is the delete one? This is the delete one. Where this is the URL /Eureka /v2 apps, then apps ID, instance ID, status is equal to value equal to up, right? And this should be the delete request. Right now I think we already have it. Just make a delete request. Can we do that? Can we come over here, make a delete request for the 8082? 8082 is running or not running? Can I see there? 8082 is not running. Let me just start it first. Then once I get it, I'll stop this one through the rest call. Okay. Now if you're gonna come over here, now let's go to Eureka first of all. Let me just hit /apps. This is my apps. Only 3 are up. The other one is not registered. This is 8081. Now let me just get the 8082. Now it is still 3. This has not been sent its first heartbeat. So I do not have it right here so far. Now it is 4. Now this is the 8082. This is my instance ID. Can I copy my instance ID right now? Control C. Can I go to my application? And right now this is going to be my instance ID, right? Paste your instance ID here. And now the status value equal to up. And it is going to be a delete request. Do a send. I'm getting 200. Okay. Can I go to my service console, and you can see status override removed. Now you can see in a little later it will be automatically recover itself, and again automatically it is going to be registered itself from here. But I'll show you, like, whenever you stop all these things, how basically all these things happens behind the scene. But so far, is it making a little bit sense what I'm trying to do? I think I've taken a little more time to explain you all these things. Not required, but yeah, things are making sense.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but okay, let's not go into all these things. Let me just give you maybe we cannot do anything today, but one thing I'll tell you, so that you'll never be confused with this one. I'll tell you a very good way to track all these things. Okay, the way you can track all these things, guys. Now let me stop everything. I'll just give you a trick so that you don't have to see all these things. You can track everything. Okay, now first of all, I told you a few things. So how can you trust me on that? For an example, I told you that if I'll start my discovery service, okay, if I'll start my discovery service will be started. Then if I'll be starting my address service will be registered with my discovery service and will be keep sending heartbeats to my discovery service in every 30-second interval. So right now, if I will go to my address service, in after 30 seconds, it is going to send a heartbeat to the discovery service, right? So now you can see the heartbeat will come over here, register instances up. After 30 seconds, it will come here. The heartbeat will be appear here. There will be a call from the address service to the discovery service. But what about, guys, what about if I turn off the discovery service itself? Then the address service will keep throwing me error, right? Now I terminated the discovery service. If I'll go over here, the address service, you'll see it will keep throwing me error, right? After 30 seconds, let's wait for 30 seconds. Then you'll see address service will have a lot of error because right now the discovery service is off, and the address service will, whenever it will send any heartbeats, it should fail. Can we wait for some time? Yeah, now you see execute request to a unknown server, unable to send heartbeats, right? So the address service is making some calls to the discovery service to send heartbeats, and as the heartbeats is not there, it is not able to send because the server is not set. So we are having the problem. So now, guys, whatever things we have discussed, we cannot do anything else today. So I want to prove this, that it is sending an heartbeats, it's making a delta call, it is making a /Eureka/app call. So how can we prove this thing? So in order to prove this, what we can do, you can basically use a guy which is available here, and that particular person is a TCP IP. You can see if you're gonna go over here to the show view, you can find the TCP IP monitor, okay, just to track what are the endpoints which are getting hit by your microservice. Let's say your address service is connecting to discovery service, so it should be hitting the discovery service some endpoints, right? What are those endpoints? It is internally hitting to this guy so that it is giving the response back to this guy. What are those endpoints? If you're gonna see, we can use this TCP IP monitor for debugging. What this guy is, guys, let me tell you one thing. So using this person, I'll just draw something, it will be easy. Imagine this is your client, right? This is one application, this is my client application, or this is a person, this is me, okay, and this is you. I want to call you. Then how can I call? I can directly call you, right? Or maybe I can do something. This is me, this is another person, maybe this is another person, and this is you. Now I can tell to this guy that, hey, call this person. Now this guy can call you. So this is a middleman, right? So every communication which is gonna go from me to you, it is gonna pass through this guy. So you can trace this guy as a TCP IP monitor. So it knows, like, what are the things you are passing from here to here. Like, let's say I'm telling, let's say, tell him tomorrow we will go for a picnic. Now this guy knows, this guy also knows that you want to go for a picnic, and this guy also knows because this call is going through this guy, right? So this is basically your TCP IP monitor. Using this TCP IP monitor, we can track calls. For an example, guys, you can think like this is your client application, this is your client, or this is you, this is your main application. Let's say this is seleniumexpress.com, Selenium Express. Okay, now let's say Selenium Express is running on a port number 8080. Now this client can do what? Whenever it is making any calls, we can have a middleman over here and can route the request using this middleman. So here we can track all the calls which is going from here to here, right? We can have it as a proxy, and we can keep tracking the information or the calls which is going from here to here. I'll show you an example. For an example, guys, here inside the TCP IP monitor that I have, for an example, I'll go to the properties here, and I'm gonna add a property. Let's say I want to see www.eclipse.org, right? Let's say eclipse.org is running on a port number 80, but I will have a monitor. I will have a port number 9999. This is a random port number. You can have anything over here, right? So let's have a port number 9999. Let's say this is my port number, and I have this port number, and this port number will track any calls which is going to eclipse.org using this port number, right? This is the original port number of the Eclipse, let's say, and this is the website domain name or the host name. Let me do OK. Let me click on start, and it is right now running in localhost port number 9999. Okay, so right now what I can do, if I'll go to my Google Chrome and if I'll hit localhost colon 9999, it will navigate to me where, it will navigate to me eclipse.org. See, I am navigated to eclipse.org. See my endpoint. So I am not making a call directly. I am making a call through the proxy that I have created. Now this is the monitor what I created, and what this monitor is doing, it is basically whenever there is any call is coming from 9999 port number, it is redirecting me to eclipse.org 80 port number. And now during this, whatever the endpoints which are getting hit, okay, you can see these are the endpoints which are getting hit, and I have like, this is the CSS style and this is a get request. This all the things are going, this requests are going from my client machine to the server machine, which is the eclipse.org. So these are the endpoints which are getting hit. Just like this, guys, I can use this concept right now to track the things. Right now I can clear this up and I can click on property. I can remove this up, right? Now what I can do, let me just remove this guy. Now let me just do one thing. I know whenever this discovery service is starting, it is starting on a port number what? 5000, right? And now that, let me just close everything. Now that is basically getting called from the address microservice. Let's say whenever the address microservice is getting started, it is basically doing what? It is making calls to this endpoint, because this is where my Eureka service exists, and address service always using this endpoint to make call to the discovery service. Let's say it wants to fetch all the information. Maybe it can hit /Eureka/apps. Let's say it want to send a heartbeat. It can put a put request. Let's say it want to remove itself from the Eureka. It can send a delete request to this endpoint. Let's say it wants to get some delta information. It can hit /Eureka/apps/delta. So let's say I will do one thing. I will set the localhost as localhost 9999 over here instead of 5000. And then what I'll do, I'll set off a TCP IP monitor. Okay. I'll set up a TCP IP monitor in the port number 9999, whatever I have given there. Now, what is going to be my host name where my discovery service exists? Inside the localhost. So I can say localhost. And in which port number discovery service is actually running? 5000. So whenever I'm making any hit to this dummy port number, you can make it anything, it will redirect the request to 5000 port number of the localhost, and this is where my discovery service will run. And also I'll track right now what are the calls is going through. Now let me just do apply and close here. So what I will do, I just changed my port number here, which is going to be my TCP IP port number for tracking. Okay, now I'll do some magic here. Now look at that. I'll start my discovery service first of all, and now I'll start one of my address service. Now my discovery service has started. Okay, now I will go to my TCP IP monitor. I'll start my monitoring. I'll go to property. I'll start this up. Now this is going to track everything. It is started. You can see the stop option is coming right now. Now I'll start my microservice. Whenever I'll start, it is going to hit this endpoint, right? And it is going to communicate with the discovery service. Let's check our understanding whether it is happening or not. Start our Spring Boot application. Let's start it in port number 8082. Let's do a OK. Now it will start. It will register itself. It will send heartbeats. But right now, I think I'll be able to track everything. See, first, what is got hit? Now it hit /Eureka/apps. Anybody remember what it is going to give you? And why did it hit this endpoint? Why did the address service hit this endpoint? Anybody? Anyone? To get the what?
The entire registry, sir.
Exactly. /Eureka/apps. It is the same endpoint, guys. /Eureka/apps is giving you what? I told you guys, no, /Eureka/apps will give you the information how many services has been registered. This is the registry information. I told you guys that whenever this guy will start, it is going to fetch the entire registry from the discovery service, and this is how it is fetching. It is, see, it is hitting this endpoint. What request it is? It is a get request. Okay, and what is the response it is getting? It is getting this response. See, first request, it is getting this response, same response. Okay, first time when it hit, right? First time when it hit, this is the only service what we are starting right now. At that time, there was no services has been registered with Eureka. That's why there is no application was registered, because right now only one service was starting, right? And whenever we did start this one, before that nothing was running. So obviously this last Eureka, whenever we did hit, it did not give us any information, right? Like, it was empty. But then it started. Now once it faced the registry, it started fine and it registered itself. You can see this is a post request, and it is basically registering the address service with Eureka service. Now this endpoint call is making from here to here. Now the address service is posting the request. Right now this endpoint details, right now you can go over there again. This endpoint is got hit, and now this is the post call. It is hitting the Eureka service and providing all the instance information, so that it can register itself with the Eureka service. So these are the information it is giving about, like, well, what is my endpoint, what is my instance ID, what are the different details I have, everything. You can see it is, whenever it is making a request, it is giving it as a JSON data. Okay, it is giving all, like, the instance IDs information, what is his name and everything. It is giving it to Eureka service, and that's how this guy is registering itself with the discovery service using this endpoint. Okay, using this endpoint. Okay, and it is the post call. It is giving the details and registering itself with the discovery service. That's why this call has been made, right? Now maybe it is making another call right now. It is trying to fetch the registry again. The first time it is for trying to fetch the registry after 30 seconds. Once it is started, is it registering, finding the details. Now maybe it should be finding its own details. You can see application details. Right now one instance is up, which is itself, and it is getting and caching the registry in the first call. And after that, it sent a heartbeat. You can see this is a heartbeat. Now this heartbeat, you can see it is a put request. Okay, now this guy is putting a heartbeat over here that, hey, I'm alive. Now if I'll go to the heartbeat will be a put request. This is the heartbeat, and the heartbeat will be having a status which is up, and the last dirty time. When the last time I have sent the heartbeat to the server, last time the address service has sent a heartbeat to the server in this timestamp. Okay, in this time you can see 8:47 time. Right, from the next time onwards, guys, after 30 seconds, again this guy will try to sync up with this guy. Let's say, is there any new application has been registered with this? And this time, after the first heartbeat, you can see after the first heartbeat, this is where it sent the first heartbeat. After that, it is hitting delta request. It is not trying to fetch the entire registry, rather it is finding the delta. Just tell me what are the new guys which has been registered. Don't send me the entire information. Now at the time only one register has been up, then it got the thing. And after that, for delta, sometime it will give you the same response. And after, let's say if I'll go to the last delta, do we have the same information over here? We have the same information, but after certain time, the delta will start giving you nothing, like, nothing new has been changed or nothing has been modified. So after the last dirty timestamp, there is nothing has been modified. So I'll start giving you those data what I haven't sent you before, right? So delta is basically the difference between the main call that you have over here and what have newly added, right? So you can see once it started hitting the Eureka/apps, when it started to fetch the data, first of all, in the first time when it hit the data, when it was trying to fetch the data, it was hitting the Eureka/apps to fetch the entire registry, and after that it started hitting the delta request after every 30 seconds just to find out if anything has been modified, if anything has been removed, if anything has been changed. You can see, and after each 30 seconds, you can see this request has been came at 8:47:56. After 30 seconds, there is another heartbeat 48:26, and then the next one should be after 30 seconds, maybe on 56. Okay, see on the 56 we have the heartbeat. Now again on the next 30 second, the heartbeat is coming right now, and all these things are the rest calls. And if you want to send heartbeats like in every 10 second, I told you how to do it. How can you do it? In every 10 second, if address service want to send heartbeat to the discovery service, anybody? If the address service need to send heartbeat in every 10 second, then how will be configuring it? Right now it's sending in every 30 second, right? Lease. Okay, can we try this? Can I write lease? Okay, and we have the lease renewal interval in second. This is our heartbeat. You can say to send heartbeat, can you use this and make it 10 second? Now you'll see in every, let me re-register this one. It will be, I think, automatically restart the application. Can I go to the TCP IP monitor? Can I clear my console? Now let's see that when the heartbeat is going to come. Okay, now nothing is there. Now see the first heartbeat, it came at 8:54. Next one please, after 10 seconds. Don't disappoint me. Yeah, now 8:54, 30:50. Okay, this is the millisecond, huh? Next one will be at, yeah, it is coming after 10 seconds only, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so in every 10 second the address service will hit the discovery service. Okay, and you can see 8:54, 50, 68. Previous one was 40, this one was 50, and you can see now every 10 seconds this will be hit. If you want to change it to 1 minute, you can make it 60 seconds, but that's not going to be the ideal scenario. You can do it, but the Eureka find it as 30 is the standard. Like the Netflix is find 30 as the standard. Okay, so anyhow, that's it guys. Let's not talk more about this one. You can set off this thing, but for now this is all to show you. So I will do one last thing. I will remove this TCP IP monitor for now. I'll go over here, go to the properties. This is just to show you. Can I stop it? Can I remove it? Now can I go back to my address service, go back to the properties file? Right now this does not exist. Now if you want to start it, obviously this will fail. Change it to what is my port number? 5000, huh? 5000 is where my Eureka is running. Fine, I changed my port number. Tell me guys if everything makes sense.
Guys, I have one question. In discovery service, you have registry as false or true right now? False, right?
Okay, come once again.
In discovery service application, what value you have for the registry false property?
Yeah, registry false, we haven't set anything. Are you seeing that registry equal to true, registry false, which is coming here in the console?
I was seeing registry as false somewhere.
Yeah, the registry false, registry true, which is coming somewhere with your.
I want to understand the difference.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. I haven't gone into that so far. I'll tell you about it. I'm talking about maybe you are talking about whenever the URL you are seeing in the log, you might be seeing registered with status of registry equal to false. You are talking about that only? Yes. Yeah, I'll tell you about that. Okay, don't worry. Any other questions, guys? If things are making sense, I know I made it a little boring, but just want to know, like, if everything makes sense.
I have a question, sir.
Yeah, Manish.
Sure. Actually, since we are already having one optimal time, say 30 seconds, which actually Netflix provides, for during which time actually it will go and look for the heartbeat.
Correct.
But say you have stopped the service, but since there is a 30 seconds time when actually heartbeat has to be sent back to the server, so that actually it can know that this is not alive. But in between, if the call comes, then basically how actually...
Yes, in between, if the call comes to where? To the microservice. Basically, there's another concept. We'll be talking about that in the next, maybe in the very next class only, we'll be proving it. But just for your understanding today, Manish, see, what basically happens is, imagine this is your Eureka, right? It has a registry. Some registry it is maintaining here, right? Now, imagine there is a microservice. There are few microservices has been registered with Eureka. And whenever they are registering, they will face this registry here. They will face this registry. This will also face the registry. This will also face the registry whenever they have started. Right now, this guy has information about this guy has information about this, because they all have it inside the registry. Now let's say this guy wants to make a call to here. Do you think it is going to look here? No, it is going to look here only, right? Now it is going to using that information, using this registry information that it fetched from the Eureka, it will make a call to here, right? Now let's say Eureka goes down, then what will happen? Do you think this call will happen, or this call will be failing?
This call will be failing, I believe.
Why it will be failing? It's already fetched the registry, right? It knows where to call. It's already up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, correct. It will able to make the call.
It will be able to making the call, right? But now let's say this also fails. This also goes down. Now your Eureka is all down. Now if the Eureka goes down, Eureka will not be, let's say Eureka goes down for some network failure. Now this is not up, right? If this is not off, this information also cannot be removed from the Eureka, right? So this does not exist right now. Now what will happen?
Yeah.
Now whenever it will make a call, then it will be a failure. And if it will be a failure, will it be directly giving you the failure response? No. Then again it will try to fetch the registry from Eureka. And again, if the Eureka is up by that time, it will again fetch the registry and update the cache, and will find the new instance of this and will make a call. Okay. If the Eureka is not up, then maybe we should have some other Eureka, right? We can basically.
Correct.
Yeah. We'll talk about this. We'll prove it. Don't worry. Any other questions?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Felix.
Yes. Today I understand the concept you are trying to tell us is the concept about auto scaling, right?
Auto scaling. Yeah.
Okay, so
No, this is not the concept of auto scaling, Felix. This is the concept of, let's say there is a Eureka server and there are many Eureka clients. How this Eureka clients communicates with this Eureka server. This is the concept of that. And all happens between using the RESTful endpoints. And how that RESTful endpoints are basically getting hit from here to here from the Eureka instances. Your Eureka clients are called instances. How it is happening, how we are connecting, these things I was trying to explain using some debugging tricks. But we have not done anything today, isn't it? All right. Any other questions? Yeah.
Can you show discovery service properties once?
Discovery service properties. Address service. Did you guys bored enough today during the first half whenever I was explaining you the Git endpoints? I think that was boring, right?
No, Bilal.
Tell me so that I can edit it. At least other people will not be bored.
No, it is good, sir.
So do you want me to edit anything, Manish, or I'll keep it like this only?
Keep it like this, sir. It will be good, sir.
Okay, all right. But if somebody knows, no, Manish, if somebody knows the thing previously, then it will be boring for him. So in that case, don't follow these videos.
Actually skip, sir.
Yeah, you guys can skip or you guys can watch it in 2x speed, guys. Let me tell you, microservices things are, if you know it, it will be just Spring Boot's thing, right? Maybe a lot of you should be, so everywhere the configuration will same. So anybody will teach you, it will teach you this thing only, right? So if you already learned microservice, just watch it in 2x speed or just watch the main important things. Or maybe later we'll have some quick sessions to refresh your memory. I'll try to have 2 sessions once we complete the Spring Cloud, and we'll wrap up everything inside that 2 sessions so that you guys don't have to watch every videos. Yeah, okay, come again.
Everyone, just wanted to ask, you were saying the third property, right? You were saying you have not gone in detail. Fetch registry if it is false or true, right?
Yeah.
This one only, right? I just wanted to double
Yes.
check.
This one, if you're gonna make it, this one is false, but where it is right now, you see it. We have it inside the discovery service. I don't want, whenever this service starts, I don't want the fetch registry from another discovery service. That's why this one is off. This one is false. But if you'll go to the address microservice, I don't have this particular property there, right? By default, that property is true.
Okay.
That's why whenever it starts off, it is fetching the registry from the discovery service. But the discovery service will be a client to another discovery service, right? So it will try to fetch the registry from another discovery service. We don't want that, and we don't have it. Okay, we don't have another discovery service. In that case, only the microservices I want to register. Yeah. Any other questions? Charger. Yeah. Anyhow, I'll be wrapping up, Felix.
And then when you were doing the delta that time address was giving only one thing, the difference right now with the TCP monitor. So
Yeah.
it will give again and again only address. Like, I mean, if one
See,
instance is up,
delta for a specific time, that is called the dirty time, the last dirty timestamp. For a certain amount of time, it is gonna give you only the modified things, and after that time, it will start giving you. If nothing changed, again it will start giving you empty array. Nothing has been changed.
another service is up, it will give you that information also.
Absolutely,
If service is up.
absolutely. Another service, whenever it will hit, it will check when the last heartbeat came, when the last time it has requested me. It requested me in that time. After that, the last request I have given him is this. Now again he is asking me something. In that request, what is the difference that we have between that the last time I served the request and right now in my server registry what I have? What is the difference? I'll only give him that difference. If anything has been changed or modified or removed or added, by that time I'll give him that details. Okay. Make sure one thing, whenever you starting off an application or turning down an application, whenever you are going to UI and you are seeing the application is not there, and if you are just seeing that and seeing your application that you are having some exception, wait for that, because maybe the registry has not been updated by that time. The registry is not this, the registry is this endpoint, and if this endpoint or this endpoint is getting hit internally, you see, and if it is not giving you the data, then the application will throw exception. So wait some time. Let's say you are starting an application, wait some time to get it registered with Eureka. Wait some time so that this application will be registered with the Eureka and the registry. It will maintain, right? Yeah.
I was trying to understand that suppose you are like discovery service is up, right? Then you will turn up address service. That time it will call Eureka apps endpoint, and it will get all the instances of or all the services which are registered in the discovery service, right?
Come again, Akhil. Whenever, sorry, I was putting my charger in. Yeah, come again, please.
Whenever address service is up, so and discovery service is also up. So address service will try to fetch all the registry by hitting the Eureka/apps endpoint.
Yeah.
That registry will give all the services registered under the Eureka.
Discovery services off or discovery services on by the time
on.
Yeah, it will try to whenever.
I mean,
yeah,
it will give you all the information, employee service or whatever service
yes,
is up in the registry.
every information.
Registry to the address service.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. Whenever, go ahead.
Suppose after like 15 minutes, a new service came like student service. So, and then only /delta will be hit and it will give that
exactly
response to address service that a new service has been added as student service, right?
Exactly. Because first time only it will hit /apps, right? It will fetch the entire registry, and after that it will keep making the delta call. Okay, and start getting the delta, the difference. If we have
it doesn't have to communicate with each other. It is just like getting the registry. It's not necessary that address will call the student service, the new service. No, I mean I'm talking about basically the delta one.
Yeah, delta you don't have to take care of. You don't have to take care of delta, how it is getting called internally. What we will do, employee service want to make a call to this service. We will look inside this, we'll fetch the instance, we'll make a call here. That's it.
Okay, got it.
Okay? Yeah. Any other questions? No, right? All good, guys? All good? Harsh? Shital?
Good with me, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Aparna, questions? Karthik, Lakshmi, questions?
I need to go through once.
Okay, sure, Lakshmi. Go through once. No, these are nothing, guys. This is nothing, Lakshmi. If you understand it, that's good. If you don't understand it, watch it again. You'll understand it. Even though you are not understanding also, this is all happening internally. We don't have to give a damn how it is happening. End of the day, this sessions we don't need this session. So why did I teach it? Yeah, maybe you will find the benefit of this once you started working, because you don't have to go and start debugging every time you get an issue in Eureka Discovery Service. All right. So better we spend 1 hour on this, and from the next day onwards, we're gonna be looking for doing the business thing and the business call and understanding microservice, not making it complicated. Is this things complicated before you guys go? Is this thing is complicated?
No, I think I believe it's core and basic
Yes.
rather than complicated.
Yes. Did I make it complicated, Harsh?
No. I think it is good to have so that we can debug the things.
Yeah. So you guys are not confused, right, Harsh? Everyone?
No.
Yeah. Can you please confirm me, everyone, whoever is here? You guys are not confused, right?
No.
It actually made clear.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So sure guys then. So guys, whoever hearing this, do not worry. Take your time, explore it. No need to create TCP IP monitor and all these things. This is just for your understanding. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, no problem. Join tomorrow. We'll talk about simple thing. Okay. So I'll see you guys in the next session. Till then, bye bye. Take care and happy coding. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.